I want to talk for a couple minutes about not blindly trusting authority. Sounds like politics, doesn't it? Which, that's cool. But what I'm talking about is the people who help us to take care of our critters. Well, and that's mostly veterinarians. And I'm in a business group, a mastermind group. And somebody the other day came on and said that she'd been listening to videos by Ted Hargrave, who's kind of a hippie guru of entrepreneurial marketing. And he said, it's really a good idea to talk about, either write about or do a video about your most unpopular opinion, or an opinion that you feel is probably unpopular, because if you have strong feelings about it, it's going to sneak out at some point anyway. And so you may as well bring it up, get out in front of it. And I'm like, well, that's a good idea. So here's mine. Veterinarians don't know everything. And this is no disrespect to what they know. And it's the same thing for MDs, but just veterinarians now. And it kind of goes for trimmers and everything. Let's just stick with veterinarians. They know what they learn, most of them. There's a school in Florida, there may be more now, but I know there's a school that trains vets in Florida that trains holistic veterinarians. That's really unusual. Mostly what veterinarians learn in their basic training is drugs, same as MDs. Drugs and surgery if they're surgeons. That's the approach. A lot of them are now becoming chiropractors. They do acupuncture. They kind of approach acupuncture from a Western medicine point of view rather than an Eastern, which is what it is. So again, this is no disrespect. I want a veterinarian to diagnose what's wrong with my animal. And if drugs are in order, yes, please write me that script. And of course I want that. And a surgeon, yes, I want a surgeon, but they don't know everything. And sometimes we have this way of going, but the vet said, rather than looking beyond and gathering more information and making decision, maybe getting in a group and discussing other options, maybe then bringing that to your vet and talking about it. So I'm just encouraging you. I'm going to tell a very short story because I don't want this video to be long. I could tell a million stories on this and I will probably revisit it. But once, many years ago, I'm very into barefoot trimming. Now it's becoming all the rage. But when I was first investigating it and learning it and hosting workshops for it, people weren't doing it. Farriers were just not putting shoes on, but that's not the same as a proper barefoot trim. So this is like 25 years ago. And I went to a store, to a sale at a tax store because I was bored. It was a Sunday afternoon or something. I didn't need anything. Let me just go to this tax store. That's for horses, if you don't have horses. And oh my gosh, the line was out the door because it was a sale. I don't even need anything. Oh, I found a t-shirt I liked. I drove all this way. Let me get a t-shirt. So I'm waiting in this really long line to spend $5 on this t-shirt. And I started talking to the woman in front of me, and we started talking about barefoot because I don't know how it came up, but it did. I'm sure from me. And people were just beginning to maybe think about it. Everybody had shoes on their horses. And we were talking about it. And she said, I've been reading about that. And I've been talking to people. I've been learning about it. She goes, and I'm totally convinced that's much better for the horse. I'm starting to understand how damaging shoes can be and how barefoot, proper barefoot trim is really much better. I'm like, well, good for you. So you're going to take your horses barefoot? And she said, oh no, I have to wait for my veterinarian to learn this, so he'll tell me it's okay. At which point I was like, what? I just smiled. I didn't know her. And well, that may be an extreme example, but it's really not. I think only what was extreme was that she said it out loud. Maybe she went home and thought about it. Like, rather than educating your vet, sharing the information, what did you read? Can you share that? Or find another vet, somebody who's willing to work with you. So that's, I don't want to go on and on. I just want to say, question everything. I annoy doctors and veterinarians. I annoy them
because I question everything. Why that drug? What are the side effects of that drug? Do we really need that, or something I could use instead? And my equine vet is, he calls himself holistic. He's kind of a little bit straddles it. And so at least I can have conversations with him. And I had a dog vet who was not at all holistic. And he would say that. He'd say, you know, I know, this is what I know. And he was excellent at what he knew. At diagnosing, he retired, and I'm like heartbroken. And then he'd say, if you want another approach to this, you know, go somewhere else and then come back. He was fine with it. So, oh gosh, I just loved him. He knew what he didn't know. And he was totally willing for you to, excuse me, go explore that and come back. He'd even listen to it. He wasn't going to learn it, but he knew what he knew, and he was an expert at what he knew, and he was open to other people knowing other things. So I'm just asking you to keep an open mind. I didn't mean this for this to be so long, because I really could go on and on about it, but I'll revisit it. Maybe you can drop, if you have any questions or comments or stories that you want to share below, that would be awesome, and give me ideas for further discussion of this, because we really need to start taking more control of our health and our animals' health. Okay, I'm Pam Sorellis of Winged Horse Healing, and I like to help people take control of their animals' health. I like to assist people in taking control of their animals' health. Take care.